Some good products here on giveaway service. Now, giveaway service you do have to apply for, but in my experience, you get accepted to most of them fairly quickly. So we're just going to jump in, and I'm going to do a couple of different examples. Diffuser, actually just got a diffuser for Christmas from my girlfriend. It was pretty cool. This looks like a good one right here. Sometimes these ping pongs. Well, it was one specific brand I just kept getting over and over again, ping pong paddles and a ball, and it was like a $20 profit margin, and I literally get it like every single week. It was awesome. So we'll check that one out. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the coupon arbitrage, basically all you're doing is you're getting coupon products at a coupon price on Amazon. You're buying them for that specific coupon price, and you're flipping them back on Amazon under the same exact listing for the retail price and not the coupon price. So you're basically just kind of piggybacking off that listing for a day and making the markup in profit. Now, maybe 95% of the products that you're going to buy on these coupon sites, this specific example is giveaway service, is going to be, probably 90% off with a coupon, and I'll show you examples of that here. The majority of those products are going to be one-off products, so it's just quantities of one. Now, every once in a while, I do buy multiple products or more than one, but the majority of them are going to be quantities of one with a $10 profit margin at least. Now, so let's try a couple more here. Let's get this mushroom extract. This is a 10-cent product, not sure if we can sell it, but sometimes I like to, if I can't sell it back on Amazon, so this might, just me, my experience knowing this might be one that I'm not able to sell back on Amazon, but for 10 cents, I also sell on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. I could flip this, probably for a good 10, 15 bucks on one of those, especially Poshmark since it looks like clothing, and I'm getting for 10 cents, so that's a great arbitrage flip. Let's try this one, $3, and we'll pull up one more for a good example. This one's $3.30. Let's try, this one's 11 cents. That might be another good example. And honestly, these, it's past Christmas, so this is a bad buy, but there's a lot of really good lights, and I probably made a couple G's off lights last Christmas. I didn't actually flip any lights this Christmas, but if you see great lights or LEDs, obviously a lot of people use lights during the holidays. Great product to buy. Let's find another one really fast. Let's try the bottle opener right here, and we'll do, let's roll with these for now. So we're going to check these out, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So this one is the bottle opener. It looks like it retails for $9.99, and you get it for 99 cents. So that is not a profit margin of 10 bucks. You can still buy this and still flip it, obviously. You might make $5 or maybe $4 or $5 on this after Amazon fees. But it's just for the sake of, keeping it streamlined in this video and, using my one-off rules of $10 profit margin, we're going to skip that one. This one is the $10 profit margin, so it retails for $10.99, and you can buy it for 11 cents. So let's check out. And this is another great example. So it is Prime. It has a $10 profit margin. Two of the things that I like to check. However, there isn't any reviews, so that's a little bit shady. So if you're buying this for like a buck or two, obviously it's. I give a lot of rules because a lot of what a good product is versus a bad product is subjective. So it's up to you. If you wanted to spend 11 cents, which is very low risk, to potentially make 10 bucks back in profit, that's something that you can do. Now, I always give rules, which is basically a below 100,000 BSR or bestseller rank. If you don't have the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, which I'm going to show you here in a second, then if it doesn't hit one of those rules, then typically, if you're just starting out, you should avoid it. But as you get better and better, you'll start to identify what's a good product to buy, what's a good margin, and you learn the rules, and then you learn that you can break them, so to speak. So let's check this one out. So it doesn't have any reviews, and it's a high bestseller rank. So this probably is an ideal product to buy and resell back on Amazon because it's almost 200,000 in BSR. But this is something I probably would buy and flip back on like Poshmark. If I'm getting it for 10 cents and I can buy a couple of these or even one, I can certainly list this back on Poshmark and definitely make at least 10 bucks back, in my opinion. Now, like I said, it's subjective. If you don't sell on Poshmark, you don't sell on Mercari, you don't sell on eBay, maybe this is something you want to avoid because it's below 100 or it's above 100,000 and it doesn't have a review, which are two red flags in my opinion. So we're going to avoid it just for the sake of this video, but that's probably something I would buy for 11 cents because the risk is super low and the reward is super high with a $10 profit margin when you're only buying 11 cent product. It's super cheap. Now, this is another great example of a bad one. It's 10 bucks, or it retails for 10 bucks, but you have to buy it for $3. So the margin already is only like $7. Let's skip that one. Another good example of one that this probably is going to be a one that you don't want to sell on Amazon, but you might be able to sell it back on Poshmark or Mercari. Let's check it out. The margin is roughly $10. Now, a lot of people in my course are literally, you don't want to be sticklers about it. So if you're making something, if you're spending 10 cents to get a profit margin of potentially $9.89, that's relatively close to the $10 profit margin that I talk about and preach. So you can obviously buy that product. You don't have to take everything at face value. It's subjective. So I would probably buy this if it's something I could resell and it checks out. It's got a review, that's good. It's Prime, that's also good. Let's check to see if we can sell it and the bestseller rank. So this is a bad product. It's almost $500,000 in clothing, shoes, and jewelry. But for the sake of checking, let's see if we can sell it. And you can sell it. So this is actually something I would probably buy just because it's so low risk. For 10 cents, I mean, you're spending 10 cents to potentially throw it into FBA and potentially get a sale maybe a week or two from now. Or you could obviously list it on Poshmark, Mercari, or eBay and probably flip it pretty quickly, especially on Poshmark, because that, people buy with clothes on Poshmark a lot. But for the sake of showing you this coupon arbitrage from Amazon to Amazon, if I were just looking at it like that, I would buy that myself because I don't necessarily care about the 10 cents. I could throw it back up and potentially make, one or two sales depending on how many of these I bought for, a profit margin of roughly $10 in the future. So it's a good investment. However, if we're just getting started on this might not be a product that you go after, but if you're a little bit more tenured and you're already scaled up to, maybe 5 to 10 grandish, why not throw another 10 cents at that product to see if you can flip it? The idea generally is to, get something with a $10 profit margin and then flip it to get the money back quickly. However, if you can't, if you can't sell it right away, it's not the end of the world because the whole idea is to replenish your FBA inventory so you continually get those high grand payouts every 2 weeks. All right, let's check this one. This is probably a good one. In my experience, if you can sell them, supplements are great. Now, let's see if we can sell this and what it looks like. 24 reviews, Amazon choice, all great, great indicators. It's a profit margin of at least $10 because it retails at almost $14, right? And we can get it for $154. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. $154 right there. So let's see if we can sell it and if it has a good ranking. It is above 100,000, but it's close enough in my opinion that if we can sell it, it might be something that I would get into. And obviously to be sure, well, I did not mean to do that. And obviously to be sure, I'd run the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, which I'll show you here in a second. So we can sell this in new condition. So you can sell yours. And it has a profit margin of $10, right? So it had at least $10. It looks like it's a profit margin roughly of, what is that, $12.50? And we'll check the Jungle Scout Chrome extension to see how many it sells. So it does sell roughly 30 a month or 1 a day roughly. So it's not the most ideal product, but it's probably something I would buy for $1 because I could probably sell it, and it sells at least 1 a day, right? Because it sells 30 in a month roughly. So it might not sell in a day, but it might sell in 2 or 3 days max. So it's something I'd probably target and probably buy, and I could flip it for $12.50. So that's a good product right there, even though it's kind of borderline. That's why I stress getting the Jungle Scout Chrome extension and not always going with the under 100,000 bestseller rank, because there's different categories, there's different sales velocities in categories. For example, if you have something of 100,000 bestseller rank in shoes, in clothing and jewelry and accessories versus something that's 100,000 in sporting goods, well, one's going to have different sales at 100,000 in each category because there's different sales velocities and different ranked products in each category. Hope that makes sense. That's why I stress getting the extension, but it's not necessary, but it's recommended. All right, this one it looks like exactly $10. It's a little bit more high risk for, if I'm talking to people that are just getting into this, because you're spending $6 to potentially make $10 after you sell it on Amazon. Now, obviously, keep in mind there are fees involved, but and I purposely don't count shipping, because if you're shipping like 10 to 20 products into FBA, you're going to be paying like 10 to 20 cents max per product. So I just don't even count the shipping. What I do count is the retail price minus the purchase price. That's where I'm getting the $10 profit margin. Now, obviously, I'm not going to make $10 on this if I were to sell this, because Amazon's going to take a slight fee, whether that's $3, $4, $5, but that's the margin that I'm looking at. $10 after you buy it versus the retail price. So let's check this one out. Looks like the margin's $10 exactly. It's selling at 18 bucks right here, even though it says it sells at 15. So this is something you might want to check. You might want to check the Camel app to see the another thing that I recommend in the course to see. And of course, I'm not signed into the Camel app. Let's take it to camel.com and see the history. This will show you the history of the sale price, so you can get a better indicator of what it usually sells at. So if something's listed at 20 bucks, but it usually sells at 13, this will show you that. So this one, it looks like right now it's sitting at $16.99, which is, I think it's $17.99 right now. But just a couple days ago, it was at $16.99. It looks like it dropped to about $13.99. But typically, it sells up here at like 16, maybe 17 bucks. So that's a good indicator. You're just basically looking for a major discrepancy. So if something's listed at 20, but almost every other day, besides the day that you're going to buy it, it's listed at 11 bucks. Well, that's a big red flag and something you want to pay attention to. So this is a good product, it looks like. You can buy it for $5.99 on giveaway service, obviously if you get approved. And you can sell it maybe for $17.50 right now to get the buy box if you sell it a little bit less. Let's check other indicators. It does have a review, okay? So that's a good thing. It's 20,000 in sports and outdoors, so that's also a good thing. We don't need to check the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. And let's see if we can sell it. And you can sell it. You can sell it new, collectible, and used conditions. So that is also a good product. So in just 10 minutes or so, running through very, very slowly, showing you examples, we found 2 products with at least $10 profit margin, which basically means that if I did this, 10 to 20 times a day, and I usually buy about 20 items a day, roughly, with all the websites from the course, that's about, what is that, 200 bucks a day, roughly. Literally just sourcing arbitrage products from my computer like this. When they come into my house, I repackage them back up, ship them into FBA, who does 90% of the work for me. I just monitor the prices and kind of adjust buy box prices, and that's how I make money. It's super, super easy. Let's check the last product right here, the diffuser. So this says it retails at $20.99, and you can get it for $5.24. Let's check it out. The profit margin, that's the first thing, right, is at least 10 bucks, which it's actually 15 bucks. It doesn't have any reviews, it looks like, which is a little shady, but it does have 10 answered questions. And it does retail at $20.99. So obviously you might want to check the Camel extension, which is why you should have the extension, as well as the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, just because they're super easy. You just press a button and it shows you really fast. It'll just, as you're doing this more and more, it will save you time. It is under 100,000, so let's see if we can check if we can sell it. And it looks like we can sell it. So you can sell it in new conditions. So this is probably a good product. It does have a major red flag of not having any reviews, which if you're getting into it is something I would caution you to stay away from. But if you're scaled up to 20 products a day and you're already buying 19 of them, this is one that I probably would buy, even though it does go against one of the rules. So like I said before, you learn the rules, then you learn that you can break them. It's up to you. Everything is subjective, whether you think it's a good product or not. This is a little bit more high risk because it doesn't have a review, and it demonstrates that the person is not fully yet invested in the listing. However, it does have 10 answered questions. It has a profit margin of 15 bucks, and it's about 70,000 bestseller rank. Now, if it doesn't have a review, typically, in my experience, it's going to raise, so you want to give yourself a little bit of buffer zone. However, it could drop a little bit too because this person is obviously on giveaway service trying to rank their products. So they're trying to get reviews. So it could go up, it could go down, but that's just a red flag. It's another indicator that I talk about. So I would probably buy this too. So that right there is about $35 profit in maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Obviously, I'm going through this very, very slowly to show you and go through examples, but I might spend an hour or two max sourcing in the morning, because the earlier you source, typically with most of the coupon sites and bulk deal sites, the better deals you're going to find. But I might spend an hour or two sourcing and packaging boxes up and shipping them back in a day max. And then I'm off to record content or do whatever else I do in my business.